My name is Professor Bwisa, the founder of TTV. I am here in Chwele in Musese, a typical Bungoma Bukusu environment, and we are now looking at the models of farming. Many people here have less than 2 acres or 2 acres on average, and we are now seeing how people utilize their 1 acre. This farm here, you can see he is mixing maize together with beans. You can see this is a plot of about maybe 1 acre or 1.5 acres, and he has put in maize mixed with beans in the same rows as you can see. Now this is good. In other words, we want to get a revenue stream from the beans and a revenue stream from the maize. And there it is. Whether that is economic or not, we shall talk about it later. Of course, the beans will mature faster, remove, and then you sell them and you create your income from them. But then you cannot replant those beans because the maize will already be having a canopy, or they have not yet been harvested, and therefore impossible to replant the beans. So you choose either you want to plant maize together with beans or another model. So this is that model. Out here you can see this one is planting maize alone. This is maize alone. Of course, the revenue streams from maize alone will be lower than the revenue streams from maize mixed with beans. In any case, the beans as legumes will be providing fertility for the maize and all that. So this model where we mix maize and beans could be superior from this one, because here you have it only once and the maize takes longer to mature. So therefore your income returns, break-even point, the beans will harvest them in maybe 3 months and start using them as for food security. That time you'll be waiting for the maize to come, and therefore you can see this model. And beyond here you can see those are just beans alone. There's another model, beans alone. Now those beans alone will again, as I said, will mature in maybe 3 months, and then you harvest, you get your income, and then you replant another lot of beans, because there is no maize to disturb. There's no maize to disturb the planting of the beans. So you will harvest twice under rain-fed system. You harvest twice the beans in the same acre. This person here, this of maize alone, this acre will harvest something like 20 bags if you have done very well. But the way this maize look at this early stage, you'll get maybe 10 or 15. Those beans, you'll get maybe 7 or 6 bags, and you'll take, that's 1 season. But when you do it twice, you'll get about 12. The beans will fetch you about 10,000 a bag. So from 12 bags, you'll get 120,000 in a year. The maize here will fetch you about 15 bags in this lot, and the 15 bags, and the 1 bag is 4,000, so we have about 60,000, which is half what you get from the maize. I mean from the beans. And here when you are mixing beans and maize, let us assume you harvest the beans once, then you get, let's say we are 10 bags you have 6 bags or so, 5 at 10 is 50,000, and then the maize comes 60,000, so you'll get about 110,000 in a year. So planting beans alone and doing it twice is superior in terms of income generation from planting maize alone or maize mixed with beans. So these are the 3 models we have looked at: maize and beans, maize alone, and then beans alone. And out there we can see there are coffee There is coffee here. These are coffee trees, and the coffee requires shade. You can see we have planted the traditional big trees to provide shade for the coffee, which is the traditional recommended methods of managing your coffee, because now the evaporation, the coffee needs water, it can give a lot of rain, and therefore compared to this open ground, evaporation in the coffee is low, and when the leaves from the big trees fall onto the ground, they provide foliage and therefore organic fertilizer. But look at it. When you want now to prune these trees, it becomes problematic, because when you cut them, they will be destroying the coffee. They are providing shade, all right, but they can also provide wood. However, to get the wood from it, you might actually destroy the coffee. So much as the coffee needs shades, agripreneurship requires that now we think of alternative shade trees for the coffee. Now we can even recommend bananas. When you grow here bananas as shade trees, taller bananas than the coffee, harvesting a banana is much less risky than harvesting those big trees in the coffee. People are now also recommending planting fruit trees and managing them. So the fruit trees will also provide shade, but they also provide fruits. So coffee management, coffee farming, it has now become clear that we need to switch to more manageable shade trees in the coffee. Caliandra, for example, if you plant it here, caliandra will be a very good shade. The caliandra will also be providing you with fodder. Caliandra will be providing you again with the compost, and therefore we are now recommending that think again in terms of which trees you want to put as shade trees for the coffee. So this farmer has decided to do mixed farming. Out there at the home, which there was bananas, we shall see them, and coffee and maize and beans. So it is like refusing to put all the eggs in one basket. So this is Musese, this is Kapchai sub-county in Bungoma County. We've just noticed farmers with 3 or 4 types of farming models of farming. This has been your Professor Bwisa, your entrepreneurship and agripreneurship tutor. Thank you.